Zach.
Hey, Liz.
Do you do Advent?
Yeah, Episcopalians like myself practice it as one of the many seasons in our liturgical calendar.
But
how do you
have
ring
an
in
Advent calendar?
I don't. I do have an Advent wreath that we light candles on.
It's so, listen, respect to religion, but like you need like a candy. You need like a little candy calendar. You need like a little
so
treat.
It's really a time to be meditating on my own sin.
You can meditate on your sin
it a time
while
to meditate
you have a little treat every day.
I think of this podcast as kind of a meditation on my sin, as like kind of a
I'm so
purgatory,
glad you came here
a kind of purgatory of.
I want to
sorts.
tell you how awful you are.
Oh, good. Yes. Good place to start.
I want to ask
it's not even
about
10. That's
Advent
great.
because I want to brag about my Advent traditions. That I have a wine Advent calendar.
Oh, say more. That sounds very Episcopalian, actually. Now that you say that out loud. Tell me, what was today's wine of the day?
Well, the problem is I'm behind on the wines. I keep forgetting because
there's only one way to solve that.
I know exactly. Friday night, let's go. Except I have to be up super early in the morning to go to Cedar Falls for
as long as you got a
Lego
driver.
League tournament. No, I don't have a
Pre-game for the Legoland tournament.
Lego League.
I don't understand the difference. Sorry. Can you say that again?
It's a robotics competition for children.
With Legos?
And my small son is in it. And he and his little team created a Lego robot that is going to do a series of tasks. They're little geniuses.
They're baby geniuses.
They know how to code. Learn to code. They did.
Learn to code. Just
Anyway.
in time for AI to take that skill away from them.
I thought you would have a great Advent. So I get my kids a little Advent calendar for themselves, and then we do a Advent calendar where I give them a little riddle every day, and they have to solve the riddle to find a little treat hidden in the house. And it's usually just like mittens or socks or something.
Be the bridge troll you want to see in the world. That's really nice.
The problem is this started because when they were little, I was like, I'll use a reusable calendar because that's better for the environment.
Ugh.
But when I had two kids, I found out that I couldn't put some of the candies couldn't fit in the little circles. So my daughter was like very obsessed with pirates then.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'll just make a little treasure map, like hide it under the couch, draw a map, put an X on the couch, and then they go find it. And they loved this. But then as they learned to read, I had to level up because like the maps got too easy. And then I started making these riddles, but now they're 14 and 12 and the riddles, they are just disgusted with me because they're like, these riddles are too easy. And it's like, I had a riddle the other day that stumped them for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, stumped you.
Can you try
Do you
one?
want to hear some
can you
of the
try
riddles?
my hand at them? Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Great. I have actually a series of
Forget the episode. Can we just do riddles the whole hour?
Yes. So I have a series of Google documents where I have been compiling these riddles for the past couple of years. And
just to be clear, if I answer these riddles 3, can I get past this bridge?
You can have a little treat. I actually got Zach and his wife a little treat. They have a box of donuts, which they can take home because I am so nice.
This is how you
But this is how you earn them.
so I don't unionize. She's bribing me with a box of donuts.
Okay, some of them I write late at night and they don't always scan perfectly. Okay, here's
2 Manhattans in.
Here's one that admittedly was too easy. Okay. Find a machine that is used every day. It also saves your lives in a way.
A machine that's used every day that saves my life in a way.
That saves my children's lives in a way.
Saves my children's lives in a way. Time.
Wow, you're dumber than a 12-year-old. He's pretty smart.
Saves my life in a way.
Yes.
Saves my children's life.
It also would save your life. Knowing you, this would save your life. It's a machine you use every day that saves your life.
A calendar.
Oh my God, that's not a machine. Oh my God.
I'm going to hate to hear this one.
This is why your mom wants to adopt me. It's because she's so disappointed.
She needs someone who can solve her riddles.
She needs a smart child.
She said she's been loath to try her hand at riddles anymore.
It's a coffee machine. They solved it in 2 seconds.
Saves my children's life in a way.
Yes, because you get your little caffeine fix.
And that prevents you from. Is that how close you are to committing murder?
Wow, you haven't had
infanticide.
You haven't had kids that long. If this is surprising to you.
Well, to be continued, I suppose. Yeah, we'll find out how murderous I get it.
Do you want one more riddle?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I love that I can stump you, but not my children. Here's the one that stumped them for a little bit. I charmed Eve in Eden. Behind me, your prize is hidden.
A snake charmed Eve in Eden.
Yes.
Behind me, a prize is hidden. It's a specific snake in the house.
Yes, that's right. So my kids immediately went to the fruit basket to look at that, see if there were apples. And I was like, oh, interesting. I hadn't thought that. And then the apple
didn't charm.
I know.
Well,
my kids are going to hell. I was like,
the apple beguiling though?
Listen, it probably wasn't even an apple. Because it never happened, because it's a myth.
A little anticlimactic, buddy.
What if it was a pomegranate? It doesn't specifically say apple in the Bible.
You're right.
It just says fruit. Do not come to a Baptist when the Bible is on the line.
For me,
do not
a navel
fight
orange.
With me about the.
A navel orange would be my preferred.
I can beat an Episcopalian in Bible trivia any day.
We don't read the Bible. We leave that to the Baptists.
Oh, I've read. Oh my God. Anyway, clearly you don't know how to have fun around Christmas. Create some Advent traditions for your little baby. And
I think a wine calendar for my maybe a hard liquor calendar.
Love all wine. I actually did a whiskey calendar.
My mom has done one of these.
It's too much. I cannot have whiskey every night. And then it was like it got to be Christmas Eve, and I had like 5 little bottles of whiskey, and I was like, "Let's go," because I was gonna wrap presents all night, and then I was like, "Oh God, this is not a great idea." Yeah. So I have.
Does it escalate? Like you get it's like starts with little vignettes, and then it goes up to like you end up with a pint.
The quality, I think, escalates.
Whoa!
And also the problem with my wine advent calendar is I am bucking the stereotype of white women, and in that I don't like white wine, and so every time in the advent calendar that there's a white wine, I'm like, I'm not drinking that.
What do you do with your white wine?
Well, I drink it.
I'm probably human.
I paid for it.
It was 1 o'clock. What do you expect, Doc?
A little white wine. I'm such a middle-aged mom. A little glass of
white wine.
Take the edge off. So I have another question for you.
What do you got?
Who do you hate enough to create a documentary about? So this week, a documentary came out about P. Diddy that 50 Cent made. He hated this man so much for so long, and for good reasons, that he had compiled all this footage and interviews and made this documentary. I have not yet seen the documentary, but now this is my favorite question to ask people, who do you hate enough to create an entire documentary about? If it's me, this podcast is over.
I'm trying not to use you as my example. If I had to, if there was one person
that you hate
who has earned
to obsessively create, to mix video, you're sitting there and you're leaving video on the cutting room floor, you have spent hours creating art to bring a person down. Okay, I'll tell you what I hate. It's not a person, because I feel like most people who I know. Well, I have a serious answer. The person I hate the most who I would create art about in this way would be my ex-brother-in-law, who sucks. No, he's criminal levels. He is abusive and horrible and violent. And I cannot wait for the day that man dies, because I will be able to finally write all the things that he did. A lot of them he did not go to jail for, so you cannot so it's really hard to talk about legally. Not that I think the man is smart enough to know how to sue, but there are laws, and
There are laws.
I hate this man so much. Him, and also those big stupid trucks. The ones that like take up all the room. Like
People's history of the F-150.
Like I would do a whole documentary series. I would I would use my personal wealth to take out ads in the New York Times. Like I would do anything to bring down these trucks. Listen, I'm not against a truck. You need a truck for a job? Sure. Use a truck. It is a utility vehicle. But what you do not need is one with a wingspan. You do not need one.
And that's what it's got.
Like,
it's got wings.
I see that truck and I think this man he is not lonely enough. I would marry this man and divorce him just to make him more miserable. Because like, why do you even need a truck like that? They take up all the space. You can't see people. These trucks are actually driving pedestrian deaths up. People are dying
100%
because these trucks. And why do we need these trucks? Weak male egos.
And because they got a lift kit on them, and I like to be real high up in the air when I'm going down the interstate.
These are yank wank tanks.
Yank wank tanks.
Hate them.
Wickety wank tanks.
If you need a button to pull in your side mirrors when you park, then your truck, you do not need that truck. You need Jesus. You do not need that truck. You need therapy.
It's also not a utility vehicle.
That truck, you need to go have a drink with the boys.
Small Japanese key trucks have the same, if not larger, carrying capacity in there.
You don't need this truck.
Yeah.
The only thing this truck does is kill people, take up all the space. And
if you are though trying to kill a lot of pedestrians, this is like a utility vehicle for that use, if you will, right?
Yeah. If you hate it when people walk.
Yeah. As an American, that's like my least favorite thing is when I see someone on the sidewalk. All
right. Did you think of somebody that you hated enough?
So Glen Beck recently, we're not talking about on the show, but like it has to be said, Glen Beck has a show now where he's talking to an AI George Washington.
If I may speak plainly, my countrymen, the greatest danger to our republic lies not in foreign arms or political faction, but in
May I just interrupt you for a second? Could you just dumb it down just a little bit?
Okay. I do have 29 points, and they're all referenced to exactly what we said in the past.
This, just speak in today's language.
Okay. I get it.
When I tell you that Glen Beck, I used to like watch him every day after school because that's when his Fox News show would come on. He did like an hour-long show. This man was in my ear and shaped so much of my childhood. He was on all the time, and when I tell you he's creating the most unhinged like content on the internet now, it makes me sick. It makes me ashamed. I feel shameful on his behalf, I know he doesned.
This is such a good answer because Glen Beck needs to go down. Also, I Googled this as we talked, and there was a headline that says Glen Beck has created an AI George Washington that sounds just like Glen Beck. So he literally created a George Washington in his own image.
Yep.
I need to throw that man across the Delaware, if you know what I mean.
Got him. I
mean, by drowning. I didn't mean anything sexual.
Yeah, weird psychosexual thing going on. It's the AI George Washington got me hot and bothered.
There's like a whole kink of like boats and tri-cornered hats.
Glen Beck was such a big voice in the conservative movement, and the idea that this is what this man has turned into.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose we should.
Still very influential. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Liz.
What podcast is this?
Hello and welcome to the Dingus of the Week, a weekly show where we pick up the rock on the ground and see all the nasty ghouls and ghosts that slither out of its reach. That's where I keep my ghouls and ghosts. I'm Zachary, Oren Smith, a political reporter based out of Iowa. I'm here with Lyz, Lenz, writer of the Dingus of the Week newsletter. This podcast is the audio second course to the newsletter's visual feast. If you aren't already, sign up at its new home on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/Lyz Lenz, spelled Lyzlenz, wherever you listen. And do us a solid, help it grow. Like and subscribe if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Give us a rating and a review. It does more than you know. And of course, this show only exists because of Patreon support. So become a patron at patreon.com/Lyz Lenz. Become a patron of the Dingusry at a $5 a month level. Keep this show going. Have a dingus of your own. Send us a voicemail by going to memo.fm/dingus. Leave a voicemail and it might end up on this very show.
The thing about this podcast is it is the most time I am forced to listen to a man.
And on behalf of this is like I'm correcting the
I mean, I
record.
do have a small son who loves to read space facts out loud. But you don't listen to him.
I've seen you with the earplugs in at all times. Lyz, who is the Dingus of the Week?
So the Dingus this week it is the Republicans' healthcare plan. What is the Republican healthcare plan, Zach? You ask me, and I would like to tell you I have a copy of it right here.
Oh, yeah?
I exclusive to this podcast, I obtained a copy of the Republican
You got the concept of the plan.
Well, let me explain real quick. So right now, for 15 years, America has had the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, also known as the reason Lyz Lenz can go to the doctor, because I do not have private insurance, and
you buy off the marketplace.
I buy off the marketplace. So right now, the reason the government shut down was because the Democrats wanted to extend tax subsidies for the marketplace. So people buy on the marketplace, they get a little tax subsidy, makes it more affordable. If it was like Obamacare and then like you had Barack Obama come
it's actually,
take
he's my
care
doctor.
of you, like give you your little, test, like your little, I don't know, like heart rate test or, you know.
You did sign up for the Obamacare Act.
I know.
I'm Obama. I come to care for you.
Come on.
It could have been so good.
It could have been so much better. Well, that's probably what Obama initially proposed, but then like Chuck Grassley kneecapped it or something, you know. But we've had it for 15 years. It's been very helpful. I mean, my family has personally benefited from the Affordable Care Act. So many families have. If you're 25 and you stayed on your parents' insurance, you benefited from the Affordable Care Act. It did not used to be like this. And let's take a step back to pre-Affordable Care Act. Two of my sisters were in a horrible car accident. They almost died. One sister had to learn how to walk again while she lived at my house. They were driving up from Florida to visit me in Iowa, and this is about 2007. And they were supposed to be covered under their university insurance. My dad was out of a job at the time. Their university insurance refused to cover them because they said they had made an error on their paperwork. So one of my sisters the story's a little bit complicated why one sister had some care covered and not the other. But one sister, when she was flown to the University of Iowa, they had to do emergency surgery on her. They gave her the wrong blood type during the surgery. And it's still causing health care problems for her to this day. But through all of that, because she had the audacity to live at the age of 16, she had to file for bankruptcy.
How awful.
Yeah, because of this, and then like a couple years later, we had the Affordable Care Act. Obama was elected, all this stuff. And that's actually what radicalized my parents. They were very conservative. They hate it when I talk about this, but like they were, conservative. My mom was an anti-abortion activist. Anyway, so we have all benefited from the Affordable Care Act. And instead of extending these tax subsidies, the Republicans are like, hey, what if we just make it more expensive and harder to get? And so this week, the Senate failed to pass not one, but 2 extensions to the enhanced tax subsidies. And Republicans are out there being like, yeah, but the ACA is bad. Obamacare is bad. And so people keep saying, like, what is your plan then?
That's right.
And I have obtained a copy of their plan.
Okay.
Here it is. I know podcasts are audio medium, but Zach makes
says,
me do.
and I quote.
Yes, Zach, describe to the people what you're seeing here.
It says "F you." It says "Get the fuck out of here." It says we will not be. We do not have a plan.
It is a giant. It is a white piece of paper with the words with the letters FU on it. This is their plan. So yeah, so like all week as the deadline. So the deadline to sign up for your plan is crawling closer and closer. I haven't hit commit on a plan yet because I'm waiting for them to come up with something because my plan's going to go up by $200.
Oh my God.
And I can't afford that.
Right.
And so I'm playing chicken with it, and it's just like, and so we're just waiting for anybody to literally do anything. And they've had 15 years to come up with something better. Like, you hate it, come up with something better.
That's right.
But it's like, no, and it's like, we're right before Christmas, and Donald Trump made saying Merry Christmas legal again because it was illegal under Joe Biden. So you can say Merry Christmas, but you'll be saying it with a mouth filled with blood and rotten teeth because you can't afford to go to the dentist.
Yeah, I mean, the option here, right, is like while the Affordable Care Act has a lot of problems, right, healthcare is still incredibly expensive in this country.
Yes.
Not everyone is insured in this country. But when there were 50 million Americans that were uninsured prior to the ACA going into effect, this did so much to get so many Americans on health insurance.
Yes.
And it's still expensive, and we still need to work on it, right? I honestly, it's worse than a fuck you, right? Because it's like, what it is HSAs. If you're rich and you can stash cash in an HSA, it actually is a really good way of kind of lowering your tax liability. But if you don't have the ability to meet a high deductible, if you don't have the ability to put away money in this HSA, this is not helping you. Higher deductibles, higher premiums due to these subsidies phasing out. To what end are we making this plan better? And
I also want to point out something really stupid about this country. Also, we're the only country in the world where we have to talk about like affording to not die.
That's right.
Like, the European mind could not understand what we're talking about right now, because they're like, what do you mean? And I really hate when when Americans will be like, oh yeah, well, we could have more affordable healthcare, but then you'll have to wait longer to see the doctor. Do you know how long it takes me I see a physician's assistant.
Right.
So not even, doctor, which I get the same level of care.
Right.
I'm not like being condescending about that, but I'm just saying that like, I should be able to get in to see somebody. It takes months.
Really?
You have to go to, urgent care if you need something, in the next 2 months.
Right.
And also, like, so it's just like, and then I had a couple years ago, I had a cancer scare, ovarian cancer scare. I'm fine. But like, to get into an OB, I had to wait months.
Right.
So don't look at me and be like, oh, you'll have to wait to get to see. I have to wait to get to see the doctor now.
That's right.
Like, it's so long. And also the other thing that really, that I think is really underreported, that is the ACA doesn't just cover, because people are like, oh, fine, get a job with insurance then, right? Like, this is like a thing people will say. I'm going to use a very specific example, but I can't use her name because I don't want her to get fired. But I have a very dear friend who has a job as a full professor at a university on the East Coast. It is a great university. They have been written up as one of the few universities that actually makes money.
Mm-hmm.
She has to go on the ACA.
Mm-hmm.
She is on the ACA. She and her family are on the ACA because that university's benefits are so bad and so expensive.
Wow.
She is not paid enough to afford the benefits through her university. So she has to go out onto the open market. And this is the problem.
Right.
Like, employers do this on purpose because they do not want to pay for an insurance plan.
Mm-hmm.
So they will force their employees out onto the open market. You know, sometimes they'll be like, we'll give you a subsidy or increase if you'll do that. You know, like, there's some deals, but it's just like, so basically these rich business owners, these rich men who run these universities are benefiting from a taxpayer subsidy. And the whole thing, the Republicans are like, oh, you know, the ACA is like illegal immigrants. Your tax money is going to illegal immigrants. It's like, no, it's actually subsidizing the wealth of the very people who voted you into office.
That's right.
It's such like a kick yourself in the dick kind of a moment that we continue to have over and over again. And this week, they passed a huge $1 billion aid package for farmers who need the aid because of the tariffs.
That's right.
So it's just like, it's a real punch yourself in the face and put a Band-Aid on your face and punch yourself in the face and put a Band-Aid on your face.
I think that's the center of this, right? The argument for this HSA plan, this health savings account plan, was that this takes money, instead of giving money to insurance companies, this gives money to the people. That's what Mike Johnson will say over and over again. But the reality is when premiums go up, when we take these subsidies away, what we are doing is we are defunding our ability to manage sort of catastrophic care. We're defunding our ability to. What's going to happen is fewer people will become insured, right?
Yes.
They will get off of their health insurance. They will these people will show up to ERs for their what will become necessary treatments in the future, and we're defunding the fire department and giving everyone garden hoses.
That's right.
It's great that, I mean, absolutely, you're making sure my household has the water. My household is still burnt down.
Right. And then you have to pay extra for the water because the data centers are using up all the water. Like,
the metaphor gets mixed the further and further you go down.
But also when I got divorced, my ex cut me off of the health insurance immediately.
Right.
And that sucked.
Yeah.
And I could not afford to go onto the open market. So for a couple years, I was uninsured and I could not afford it. I could afford basic kind of urgent care stuff. But other than that, it was not good. And the past 2 years, so I get back, back in 2019, I got a job with health insurance, started to, I wasn't seeing the dentist. And so I was able to start affording the dentist again. And then 2020 happened. And then everything got shut down. So then I couldn't see the dentist again. And then my dentist left Iowa. And so back in 2022, 2023, I started regularly seeing the dentist again. And I have had so many problems with my mouth. I have needed so much dental work.
It's all the bad things you say. It just really rots your mouth.
Last year, and I'm still catching up on it. Last year wasn't my worst year. So 2025, I had to pay out of pocket $5,000 just to get my mouth to stop. And I remember going into the dentist this year. And this is regular. Now I've been seeing on the regular. And he said something. He goes, because I needed crowns because I'd been grinding my teeth out of stress from a lot of things. And he was like, you must be in a lot of pain. And I was like, what?
I'm a woman in America.
I joked. I was like,
you can tell.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a woman in America. I'm always in a lot of pain. But then they got the crowns on, and it was a couple weeks later, I was like, oh, I'm not waking up with headaches.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, because I have a problem, I wake up with headaches.
Right.
It's like, what could it be? Could it just be like being a woman in America? Is it because I had a glass of wine 2 days ago? I don't know. I'm in my 40s. Who knows? And I got so mad. I got so mad that I had been dealing with this like low level of preventable pain,
Right.
all because I was broke for a couple years, you know, and this is, and I am lucky.
Right.
And this is what this country is.
People will put up with pain. They will put up with so much. And it will become so much more expensive on the other end. For the small problem becomes a much larger when we ignore it. And that's when we don't have health insurance, it prevents our ability to deal with those problems.
Also, this problem affects like women and people of color specifically, because if you are a woman, you are less likely to be insured. Right. You're more likely to be women in 2025 are being forced out of the workforce. Black women especially, because of the end of like work from home jobs, the rising cost of healthcare, the rising cost of childcare, groceries, the affordability crisis. It's forcing women back into the home. And then now their healthcare is dependent upon their partner.
Right.
And that keeps them in bad marriages. It keeps them in abusive situations. I wrote a best-selling book about divorce. I have heard from so many women who were like, I would have left, but if I did, I don't know if I could have afforded my children's health care or my own health care. Right. And that is just like that trickle-down reality of oppression. So, you know, we're a real upper today. It's in the air.
It's in the air.
There's a runner-up, Dingus.
Tell me, Liz. Is this a light one? Tell me it's a light one. It's not.
Yes.
I can hear the cries from the hospital from here. It's
like, Lord. So we're all gonna die, or move to Ireland. Ireland, please take me.
Does Ireland have good health care?
I mean, can't get worse.
Walked into that one.
I also love Ireland. So we have a runner-up, Dingus, because this was some late breaking news and it was so funny. Did you know that Marco Rubio is here, Secretary of State is here to fight the battles for Americans?
I know that Marco is he's really interested in the most pressing and most important issues of our day.
As Secretary of State, he is on it for American security. And the fight he picked this week was with Calibri, the font.
The terrorist cell Calibri font.
And I'll say there is some bipartisan agreement on this, because in the Discord, when I posted this story, there were people who were like, yeah, Calibri is bullshit. Like, they were just like, I hate Calibri. And I did some research. The New York Times ran a story on Calibri and why it is this like culture war flashpoint.
Oh my God.
Oh, but first we have to explain. So Marco Rubio reversed a Biden era directive that said all memos have to be written in Calibri. And the Biden administration did this because it is supposed to be a more accessible font. It's supposed to be easier to read. I would like data on all of this, but so do you know what a serif sans serif is?
Tell me about what serifs are. I don't read, so this is I'm learning a lot today.
If you're looking at a font and it has like the little line at the bottom, like if it's like there's an R and the bottom of the R has like the little line.
It's kind of like letter eyelashes. They kind of bat.
They are little letter eyelashes.
They kind of bat at you.
I don't like it. That's called a serif. And you know what? I don't like a little serif. I think it thinks it's better than me. You think you're better than me, serif? You're not better than me. It's like if I see a serif font, it's like that kind of person who's like, do you know I went to Rose Holman? I went to Rose Holman. This is like an engineer thing too. Like if somebody is like 40 and they're still telling you where they went to college, that is like the verbal equivalent of driving one of those big Ford trucks.
Okay.
It is
Full circle. I like
compensation.
callback.
Thank you. Also, so I feel like a serif font thinks it's better than me.
So
It's putting on airs.
So-
I like a font that looks like we could drink a Mick Ultra together.
Right.
Like me and this font.
Ariel.
Yeah, sure. I can't.
Can you drink a Michelob Ultra with Ariel?
I am actually gonna Google Ariel real quick.
Ariel, I don't like Ariel. I mean, obviously, Comic Sans will always be a goated font. It's very legible. If
He's
you have
just saying that Ariel's fine. When I went through my very snobby phase when I was in graduate school for creative writing, I liked Garamond.
Garamond is
It is a serif
That's an
font.
MFA font.
That is an MFA font.
That's an MFA
if I
font.
ever saw one. And so, but Marco Rubio was like, no, reverse this. Make everything Times New Roman. And I would like to read you what he said. He said, Marco Rubio said this with his whole chest, his full chest. He said, switching to Calibri achieved nothing except the degradation of the department's official correspondence.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He's so like instead of like his whole thing was like he could have just been like, hey y'all, let's switch back to Times New Roman. But no. He was like, we're switching back to Times New Roman because Calibri is too woke. Calibri's
woke.
Antifa.
Calibri's woke. The State Department wants its cables to look like a high school book report from 2003.
Calibri is a DEI hire, apparently. And so he could have just said, like, we're switching it back, but he was like, we're switching it back because I saw Calibri with a soup can ready to throw it at
It was
a
at
cop.
It was at the Columbia University encampment, right?
Calibri was like at the protesting the genocide in Gaza. Like
Endorse tradition, embrace tradition, fax machines, the telegraph. I want pigeons delivering State Department missives now.
That's right. Make smoke signals great again.
Make the why stop here? The Oracle of Delphi, I understand, is out of work. Why don't we embrace tradition?
That's right, because DEI make qualified oracles go out of work. No,
Amen.
so and I also while researching this, because you know I love a research rabbit hole.
Oh yeah,
and Calibri was invented for Microsoft in the early 2000s. My source here is the New York Times. By the way, I like to cite a source. That they wanted a new default font, to make it more accessible. And so the inventor, Lucas de Groot, came up. That's right. He's a German. He has healthcare. We can mock the shit out of this guy because he can afford to take the hits.
Yeah, fuck you, Louis de Groot.
Lucas. So that they wanted a sans serif typeface that would be easier to read. And then so he made some sketches and with more rounded corners. And then he said, okay, here's another one. And then he said, I don't like this one. It looks ugly. So don't choose. Here's an example of what I could do. And they were like, thanks. That's what we choose. So Microsoft chose it, and it in 2007 became the default typeface. It was replaced by Aptos, I don't know, APTOS, a rounder typeface. And the creator of Aptos was aiming for a typeface, and I quote, this is a quote from a blog, a Microsoft blog. It says the creator of Aptos was aiming for a typeface with the universal appeal of the late NPR newscaster Carl Castle and the astute tone of late night host Stephen Colbert.
Aptos?
That is what they wanted in a typeface, and this is a real Kim, people are dying. There's people that are dying moments. .gif. You know what I mean? Like people are dying.
Yeah.
I can't pick a healthcare plan, but let's have a fight about typeface.
You're right. Americans are losing access to their health insurance, and little Marco is making me listen to why his Sarah fetish is super normal and not weird, and everything's fine.
He's like,
tell me you're out of touch without telling me you're out of touch. It's just like
he's like, well, I just love it. I love a woman with a serif. It's fine. It's just
hot and bothered.
So in the Discord, a user, her name is Lizzie B. So we were debating typefaces in the Discord. So it's a lovely space. If you subscribe, you can join it.
Marco Rubio loves it.
Marco Rubio, he's Rubes 287.
Rube 69.
Yeah. Nice. And we accept all people, but so Lizzie B just wrote a list, and I don't know from what, maybe from her heart.
Okay.
But she just wrote this list. Comic Sans is woke because it was designed for accessibility.
Truly.
Martin is woke. Okay.
It just is.
Okay.
You saw it.
Gil Sans is not woke. Great. No further questions. Ariel is Republican Helvetica because it is bureaucratic and joyless, but not woke. I have no questions. Lizzie B is the authority. Judge is ruling. And with that,
10 out of 10.
With that, Zach.
Let's take a break.
Zach, do you know one of the great things about supporting this podcast is?
You're directly funding my little baby girl.
That's right.
My little baby. This segment is brought to you by my little baby girl.
He's the father of a daughter.
I am a papa.
He's the father of a daughter. This is why he now supports women. He didn't support women before. But
I'm constantly talking about how I have a daughter.
As a daughter.
As a girl dad.
Dad. Your baby's so cute.
My baby is so fucking cute.
So
I'd show y'all
cute.
pictures, but my wife would beat my ass.
We keep babies off the internet.
I
think that's a good rule.
Because the AI will gobble them up.
Yes, and also haters
and then my
will
baby
take
will get
pics.
framed for murder.
That's... I'm going to frame your baby for
AI.
Murder.
Not today, AI. I won't have it.
It wasn't me. It was the baby. It's not. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Defense.
Yeah, babies are murderers. But the great thing about supporting the newsletter or beyond, like we are not funded by Peter Thiel. We are self-funded. I am funding this.
I keep asking PD, as I like to call it.
But we also have this great Discord where people can go, and I co-run it with another incredible newsletter writer, Garrett Bucks. He has the white pages. Mm-hmm. Everybody should go support him. He lives in Wisconsin. But we have this Discord, and it's so great. It's like, it's not too busy, but it is pretty chatty. And this week, there was a debate in the Discord because I can't stop watching Taylor Sheridan shows. And I don't think this is like a good thing. Like, I'm not proud of it, but like, I love The Lioness.
Okay.
I love Yellowstone.
Right.
I started watching Landman, and I was like, oh, this stupid fucking show. I am going to watch all of it. I am obsessed with it. At your baby's christening, baptism. Baptism. That's right. I'm Baptist. We dedicate babies. You dunked that whole baby underwater and held her
like
there
Carly
for a
Rae
little
Jepsen.
while.
That baby's dedicated.
It was so fun. Okay. It was so funny because we were talking about it, and our Catholic friend was like, oh yeah, I don't, and I was like, literal wars were fought over whether you could baptize a baby, Molly. It's called the Reformation, but she wouldn't know because she's Catholic.
Catholics.
I know. They don't even teach them about the Avignon papacy.
Teach the schism.
Teach the
schism.
Anyway, the whole thing is we were debating whether Taylor Sheridan can write female characters. And it was a little bit of a funny debate because the men were saying that these women were not great characters. And I was like, false. Beth Dutton from Yellowstone, one of the best female characters on the show. On television writ large.
Whoa, big.
I love her. Also, The Lioness is just like powerful women doing war crimes. I love it.
We love when women commit war crimes. I
love it.
I was a big Margaret Thatcher fan personally. The steel lady, more like the lady
That can step on my neck.
yeah.
Okay.
Like the lady that steals my heart.
Remember the Margaret Thatcher season of The Crown came out in 2020, and I was very lonely, and I watched it, and she had this whole thing where she would be like, my son, and so I was always being like, my son, and people were like, why are you? And it's a bit, I can't.
Why are
quit
you
this
playing
bit.
Margaret Thatcher playing Sean Connery?
Wait, who was the
It's
actress?
not the steel lady, it's the iron lady.
I think it's the lady who sucks.
Margaret Thatcher is she the iron lady? She's some metallic lady.
Hold on, let me look
The
it up.
adamantine lady?
Is she the iron? I think she's the iron lady. She's the iron lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was some alloy.
The iron lady, more like get back to ironing, lady.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was solid. I actually really liked that one.
Anyway, so join the Discord. We have a lot of fun debates, and I will say I think the Ken Taylor Sheridan right female characters debate is now closed because with the inclusion of the television show The Lioness, we have the women have won.
The women have won.
The women have won, and I will
Congratulations, women everywhere.
say that we did it. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
We don't need
done.
feminism anymore.
Feminism's over.
I made the Dingus game this week.
Lyz.
Because the last 2 episodes, I let Zach make the game. And I have to say, I don't think they were games.
It's interesting. I've been getting a lot of notes.
Last week's game was like, here's all the terrible things that the Trump administration has done. It's all true. That's the game.
Some are saying these games aren't games. I would argue that they are
They were not games.
They are meditations on ludonarrative dissonance. That's what they are.
That sounds like a loser.
They're prose poems.
Are
it's a little highbrow. You know what I mean? Okay, there's no plot. Okay.
And this is how I learned that Zach did not grow up in a game family.
No, I didn't. We didn't play a lot of games.
No. I grew up in a game family where my dad made us like sob over Chinese checkers. So I have like a different kind of a trauma. We don't have to unpack it today.
We'll get there. That's for next season.
Your girl is good at a game. And me and my son love to play like Settlers of Catan like all day.
Yeah.
I love beating him at the little Pokemon card game. It's really fun.
I'm just not a virgin. You know what I mean? I just got laid.
So I have a game for you where I'm going to give you 3 culture wars moments.
Okay, perfect.
So right now we're in a culture war moment over typefaces. We're also in the Christmas season where the liberals are fighting the war on Christmas.
They're taking away my red cup.
We can't say Merry Christmas.
In Trump's America, if we have one liberty, we can't. We don't have health insurance.
We don't have it,
but we can say Merry Christmas.
You say Merry Christmas,
and that's a victory
with your dying breath. So I am going to give you 3 culture wars moments from American history. You have to guess which one is the fake one.
I can't wait.
They're very short. It's a sweet, easy game.
Let's play.
Okay. Fox News's Jesse Waters got mad over a gay nutcracker.
Bingo. Jesse Waters, Fox News host mad.
Yes.
Gay nutcracker. That's totally real. And you can't tell me that's not real.
Nike, when they launched a Betsy Ross shoe, they had to immediately recall it because there was a culture war over the Betsy Ross flag on their shoe. All right? And
what the fuck?
And then the third one is Tammy Faye Baker got mad at shoulder pads, saying it was the masculization of women in America.
We hate Hillary Clinton so much that one has to be real. Like that one has to be real. So the B sound.
Betsy Ross shoes?
Betsy Ross shoes has to be, and I'll tell you why. While we love as conservative men, as Christians, husbands, sons. We love talking about our founding fathers, and the idea that we would mention any women on that, any women that were alive during that time is anathema. So I don't believe anybody in the. You said I was a Fox News host.
No, I just said that there was backlash
Nike
to
recall.
Nike having to recall issues.
We don't know who Betsy Ross is. Let's hear it.
It was actually Tammy Faye Baker and the shoulder pads. That was the made up one.
Damn.
Yes, that completely made up. So the thing with the Betsy Ross flag on the shoes was there was some controversy over whether the Betsy Ross flag had been appropriated by extremist groups, which Nike might be a little unaware of. And when people were like, "Hey, yo, this is bad," and then Nike recalled the shoes. So that's real. But I will say, I love a walking tour.
Okay.
I love a history tour, and I love a ghost tour. I did a ghost tour in Philadelphia back in 2017 when I was researching my book Belabored. And we walked by the Betsy Ross house, and this ghost tour operator. Most ghost tours are history tours. Like they'll throw in a couple ghost stories, but it is somebody who loves their town and wants to tell you about it and the history. And so it's this like,
and they have a cape.
And there's this like thing. Oh God, I love it. This is why Boston, I know it's controversial to say Boston is a great city, but this is why Boston is an elite city, because you always find a nerdy man in a tri-cornered hat to lead you around.
We just call that Tinder, That's
I love it. And when my brother and I went on that tour in Boston in July on the Freedom Trail, every time we stopped at a stop, my brother would raise his hand. Guys, we are like full on in our 30s. He would raise his hand and he would be like, "Is this where the national treasure is?"
All right, maybe he is the better Zach. Maybe this Zach should be the co-host of the show, but that's really fun.
Everybody loves my brother. If I had done that, I would have been kicked off the tour. My brother did that at more than 4 stops.
Is this the national treasure?
Every person in the group laughed.
Yeah.
And the tour guide loved him and was like a full-on retired professor in like a Revolutionary War founding father outfit. And every time my brother did it, he'd be like, "That guy." But he would be like, "Is this where the national treasure is?" No, so I'm on a ghost tour in Philadelphia. We walk by the Betsy Ross house, and this ghost tour operator in Philadelphia, he showed up to the tour with a bag of, God, were they like pretzels? Yeah, with a bag of soft pretzels and little bottles of Fireball, and was like, "Let's fucking go." And then we walked by the Betsy Ross house, and he was like, "She was stacked." And I was like, "What?"
Like
and he goes, "Oh, what? You're going to be woke because I complimented a woman?" And I was just like, I can't win here. Give me another Fireball.
When you say stack, like Betsy Ross had a fat ass.
Like he's talking about her chest size.
Ah, okay.
That's what
he's a breast guy, conservative.
Yes.
Conservative,
and so he was like, we were just walking by. He goes, Betsy Ross was stacked. And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, what? It's too woke to compliment a lady." And I literally was just like, "Just give me another Fireball." He did.
And that's how I got 2 Fireballs.
And that's how I got 2 Fireballs.
And then you followed up with it. "Look at the Fireballs on that." And
Paul Revere really had a set of Fireballs on that, man.
I revere that.
I revere that dick. I did my best work.
George washed these and nuts. Is this anything? Sorry.
George washed these.
Lyz, I have a listener dingus. Would you like to listen to the listener dingus of the week?
Send us in your dinguses, please. They're so fun and they make me laugh.
You too can send in your listener dingus by going to memo.fm/dingus.
I wonder if we have to incentivize people to send in. I've been bullying.
Can I give them a little kiss?
Tell you what, Yeah, sure. Sending in a dingus comes with a little light sexual
A
assault.
little kiss. It's a little kiss.
Hey, this is Tom at Classy Tom for the Discord folks. And this memo is for Lyz and for Zach for Dingus of the Week. And while I could nominate a number of things this week, my
Truly.
perennial Dingus nomination goes to companies, apps, publications that choose to release their best of list a month early.
So every year, gosh, how long has the Discord been around? Maybe 3 years? Every year, Tom pops in and I solicit Dingus of the Week nominations. And I will have to say, Classy Tom and our friend and Dingus historian Bo Anderson, both
Noted dingus historian.
Dingus historian Bo
Celebrated dingus
Anderson.
historian.
Bo also runs the Dingus March Madness tournament, which we will be doing here on this podcast as well. So lock in, get ready. There's much to look forward to in 2026. But between Bo and Tom, they both have the most Dingus nominations that have made it to actual awards.
That's
And I know, and
pretty
for,
illustrious.
and for men, I mean, for men,
for the as the men who yell at you,
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty good.
but every year at the end of the year, Tom comes in and he nominates people who post their end of the year list before the end of the year. In Tom's world, no end of the year wrap up should happen until after December 31st.
I totally agree with this take.
And it is, a lot of people do. Here's why it has never won. I don't care. I'm not a virgin. I don't care. People get real het up about this.
You were getting hot and bothered about a Chinese checkers game, and this is the thing. Those virgins with their end of year lists. All right. Okay.
Well,
all right.
We've discussed this because I have a very thoughtful, complicated Dingus nomination process.
Nuanced, interesting, important.
And it's basically whatever I can make jokes about that day,
Yes,
that week. And
famously.
it's like, sometimes there are really worthy dinguses, but I can't think of a joke to make about them,
Mhm.
except like, bro, that guy sucks.
That one's stacked.
Look at the fireballs on that one. And so, but like, first of all, it's not funny to me. I don't care. Like, it's just like, and also I am of the opinion that nothing that happens from December 1st to December 31st matters.
Except for the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
And the birth of Lenz. My birthday is December 19th. Lock
you
it
just
in.
had to get ahead of them just a little bit.
Lock it in. No, but like, nobody should be working. It doesn't matter. Nobody should be coming out with books in December.
No way.
Nothing should happen
Honestly,
in
no
December.
podcast should get edited.
No podcast should get
I think
edited.
no podcast should get published in the month of December. People should get paid anyway.
And so I simply don't care. But every year it's like become a bit where he'll be like, and then you gotta write this, and I'm like, I won't because I don't care. I don't care. Come out with your list whenever. Lists are arbitrary. As somebody who has written for a number of websites, let me tell you how much thought and planning goes into those lists. None. It's stupid. They're just like, whatever. There's no, like, when the New York Times is like, we did all this stuff to make a list of the best books of the year. It's just some farty fart.
It's just some nerd in a room.
It's just some nerd in a room.
Looking at his shelf saying, I think these are the 10.
And it's just like, it means nothing. They all mean nothing. They're just clickbait. And they publish all the clickbait in December because nobody wants to read a thoughtful, investigative piece in December.
No, but I do like to read the albums of the year that Pitchfork puts out. It's very
And so
fun.
if it comes out in January, people actually want to lock in and read the news in January because everybody's sober.
I think lists are great during this time because they give writers the ability to phone it in. And they're not timely, so you can publish them between the days
Whenever you
of
want.
December 23rd and the new year. And
It doesn't matter.
I think it's a great
and they get a
time for
ton of
lists.
traffic. And because everybody clicks on it and then everybody gets mad because they're like, oh, you said this album was better than this album. And nobody cares. It's just distraction while the world burns. I do not care.
I have a good time with them.
Yeah. Zach's
Keep it up. Keep it up, guys.
I care about a list.
Well, I, as someone who doesn't read, I kind of look at
the pictures.
They look like pictures to me. Yeah, just.
Also, this year, speaking of things that don't matter, Time announced their Person of the Year.
Oh, who was the Person of the Year?
It was the architects of AI.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Vomit.
Sorry, the 18 tums I took before the camera got turned on, or they're fighting back.
Extreme jerk off gesture. You know, I said that instead of doing it visually.
That's probably better.
Because Time announced the architects of AI, you know, which is just another way of glorifying the thirsty plagiarism machine that's running up our electricity bills. So I decided I would create a list of my own people of the year.
Okay.
And then I will crown a person of the year. But you need to say, who do you think would be a good person of the year? And you already know who my pick for person of the year is, so don't steal it.
Sorry, I need to say who the person of the year is, or I need to ask you.
So you have to tell me who you think a good person of the year would be. Women.
Person of the year for me would be
my wife.
My baby girl.
My baby daughter.
No,
as
I
the
would never.
father of a daughter. No, not until she
Dad's
sleeps.
everywhere. It would be it probably there's a nurse in the University of Iowa healthcare system that delivered my child. That person is the person of the year. Nurses rock.
Nurses who you know work in labor and delivery.
Man, what a fucking
Good
cool
Lord.
what cool people. Just thorough. Yeah.
Oh, that was surprisingly earnest.
Now, but how about a pee pee poo poo one? A little one for the boys. Person of the year.
What about Sean Dunn, our sandwich guy?
Sean Dunn. Just Sean's everywhere. Sean's. This is the year of the Sean for sure.
Sean, the guy who threw the footlong at the CBP agent in DC.
At the CBPBGBs.
Yes, Customs and Border Patrol agent.
CBPBGBs.
Sandwich guy. We
love Sandwich Guy.
He was our first podcast episode. We loved him.
Go for Sean.
What about the penguins who got tariffed in the beginning of the year? Remember those?
I remember the tariffs on the penguins. This has been a big year for tariffs. I had to learn what tariffs are in order to understand the news cycle. So that was fun.
What about Cynthia Erivo's fingernails?
I don't. Those little
fingernails?
Those little fingies?
Yes.
Those are really good too.
What about David Harbour's butt plugs?
Man, mazel, David.
Honestly,
David
wins the most divorced man of 2025, narrowly beating out
Elon Musk,
Jeff Bezos,
insert billionaire here,
Ben Affleck,
Donald Trump.
Ben Affleck is Jeff Bezos got married this year, but he got married in such a divorced way that he upped the divorced energy. Ben Affleck will always be the winner though, because he just always seems divorce depressed, even though apparently he can just call up Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Garner and they will come take care of him, which is like, I want to do that. I want Jennifer Garner to come hang out with me.
Read me a story.
Jennifer Garner, I want to hang out. But no, so David Harbour wins. What about Chicago Pope?
We love Chicago Pope.
Well,
we love Chicago Pope.
No, listen, I'm never going to stand a Pope.
That's probably a safe word.
Yeah,
they say the F slur behind bars, right? Like,
oh, rest in peace, F slur Pope.
F slur Pope, whose name is...
I will.
What was his name?
It doesn't matter.
Leo?
Listen, popes are always going to be anti-women being.
Yeah, so shared
priests.
Values with the podcast, right?
And they're always going to be anti-abortion.
Truly,
and so it's like I'm never going to be like, oh, this is a good pope because he sucks a little less. Like, but I do think Chicago Pope gave us some good memes, and for that, Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Our first American Pope. What about the daisy Katy Perry held up in space? Do you remember that?
Not at all. She held up a date.
She went to space.
I knew she went to space.
Jeff Bezos launched a bunch of women into space.
She carried a flower with her.
Yeah, it was a daisy, and she held it up.
What?
You don't remember that?
I can't. Yeah, I can't even.
What about the Coldplay couple? Winners.
I mean, that's
we
like
also did them dirty.
we.
The surveillance state. I mean, it was a funny moment, but the way people were like, and now they need to not have jobs, and that without even knowing like what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
just let the philanderers philander.
You know what? Honestly, let them.
Let them philander.
It's not our morality, and also they could have been an open relationship. We don't know.
And they're rich people.
Like,
it's not like they have real
have
morals.
To hold people's morality for them.
Amen. There we go.
Like leave people alone. Like I hate that. It's like if your boyfriend is named David and he was on an American Airlines flight back from Atlanta to Charlotte.
Are you dating my boyfriend?
He was texting another girl, so you should know. And it's just like, God, leave him alone.
Leave the boys alone.
Surveillance culture is out of control.
Lyz Lenz says, leave the boys alone.
You simply do not know what is going on in somebody's life. And we also and it's also it's turning people on people when we should really be mad at the bosses.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Should be mad at the billionaires.
That's right.
We should be mad at the billionaires.
We should. Okay, but do you want to know who? Oh wait, the other nomination for person of the year. 6'7".
6'7" was powerful. 6'7" was powerful, and it's so over. It's so over.
That's because adults are doing.
Yeah, so over.
It's so over.
Can I add one?
Yeah.
Little tiny pine cones.
What?
There's a tree that I passed by on my way into town. And it has little tiny pine cones, and I think it's the year of the little tiny pine cone.
Why do I allow you to talk?
It's like a little spruce pine cone.
It's like that's an evergreen pick.
Hey.
We didn't script that. I'm just that funny. And you're that dumb. No. The winner in my heart, in all our hearts, the drunk raccoon.
Mazel to and congratulations to the drunk raccoon.
If you go to the Dingus of the Week Instagram, which you should, because we put little clips of the show. We do
little cute little clips,
little Instagram carousels, and all that kind of stuff. I used a meme generator, not AI.
Oh my God.
Did not use AI. I used a meme generator just like a real artist would, much like a Pablo Picasso.
But with less sexual assault allegations.
That's right. Oh. So the drunk raccoon who broke into the liquor store, was it Virginia or Tennessee? I should fact check this.
Sorry, I just thought this was like a cute little animal that you found on the internet. Is there a story? Is there a story
yes.
behind it?
Oh, Ashland. I'm so sorry. Ashland, Virginia. Who broke into an ABC store, destroyed hundreds of dollars worth of alcohol.
Sick.
And then was found passed out in the bathroom. And there is a picture on the internet. If you go to, we'll put up the picture, perhaps. Actually,
definitely.
We should put up the picture of the Time Person of the Year image that I made using a meme generator. And it is a picture of just a raccoon passed out next to a toilet in an industrial bathroom. And it is so funny.
I think what's interesting about this story is that, Democrats have been looking for a way,
A hero.
a way to like kind of increase their relatability, right?
They need a blue collar hero.
They need a blue collar healer, a healer,
Step aside, Graham Plattner. You've been replaced with Drunk Raccoon. Drunk Raccoon.
Rocky Raccoon.
And
Drunk at the spittoon.
The People's Princess.
It's the Midwest princess that we always wanted.
I love this raccoon, and I think that I posted this image that I created on Instagram with Mariah Carey's Hero playing in the background.
And she was so proud of this that she hasn't stopped talking about it.
Hero comes along.
Liz put this post together and immediately passed out. Like, she has a huge bump on the back of her head from colliding with the table behind her from laughing too hard.
One of the problems with writing this newsletter is it's just me sitting alone in my office cracking myself up. So, Drunk Raccoon. And also, I just want to put in a quick plug. We are getting to the end of the year. We do a Dingus of the Year wrap up, and we do it before December 31st. But if you want to vote for Dingus of the Year, go to the website. There is a button. You can click on a Google poll. And we could probably see some preliminary
options.
Yeah, let's see how the vote's going. Ooh, yeah, we've got 60 responses.
60 responses.
So far.
Has someone pulled away from the pack?
Right now, who's pulling ahead is Pete Hegseth.
I mean, the gift that keeps shitting the bed. The gift that keeps vomiting on my floor.
This is an exception to the rule because this is somebody who has been accused of assault allegations and yet being a walking vodka pit stain.
A man who looks like the very smell of mildew growing on my curtains.
The man.
Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Patreon.com/Lyz Lenz is the home of Dingus of the Week, a Men Yell at Me media production. Love or hate what you heard. Help us keep it coming. Support it by subscribing and becoming a member at $5 a month.
Or $10 a month.
Or $10 a month.
Listen.
Why stop there? Here's some things you can do to help the show out. Go like this episode and subscribe to the channel over on youtube.com. We're Dingus of the Week over there. If you were a devoted audio-only listener, give us a rating and review it wherever you listen to the show. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Why not both? Have a dingus of your own. Send us a voicemail by going to memo.fm/dingus. Leave us a voicemail, and you might just hear yourself on the next episode.
And big thanks to Men Yell at Me newsletter editor who remains anonymous.
Secret.
She's secret and mysterious and all-powerful. Also, assistant editor Isabella Rosario. Dingus of the Week is produced by Zachary Oren Smith. Our theme music by Laura Benitez and The Heartache. I love our theme music.
So good. It's what you're listening to as we go out.
Bring back the guillotine.
Right now.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Dingus of the week, lost your paddle up Ship Creek. You're not smart.